Welcome back to Necessary Roughness. We're here with the guys. We've got Carlos, Trenton, Andy. Tonight we're going to do a little review of the College Football Playoff Semifinals. Talk about some of the games. We had a really good game and we had a little bit of a blowout.
Yeah, hey, we can't be saying the government. Say Los next time.
Los, sorry, we got Los on. But no, we had a really good game. The Miami Ole Miss game, in my opinion, was an awesome game. It was fun to watch. Then we had kind of a blowout. I mean, not even kind of. It was a straight beatdown.
Yeah, from the first snap going the opposite direction for 7 points. Ryan was on the wall. It felt like the Seahawks Broncos Super Bowl.
Yeah, you had to bring that up, didn't you?
Oh, I did.
Hey, but you ain't wrong about that because I ain't even see it. I'm like, dang, it's already 7-0.
Yeah, it was
kick return.
First play of the game. Oregon gets the ball, throws a pick six, and that's all she wrote.
It was pretty brutal to watch, to be honest with you. But
it wasn't as brutal as Georgia versus TCU and the Natty.
That is true. That was a bad game. But
hey, hold on, man. I'm gonna change the subject just a little bit. But Dan Lanning, I told you I don't like him. But I remember when they played Colorado back in like 3 years ago, and they're playing for clicks and we're playing for wins, and he was talking all crazy. And now when they lose to Indiana, it's not all about winning. I care about them being fathers and husbands. Come on, nah, bro. It's about winning, dog. What we talking about?
Yeah,
I don't think Dan Lanning can get it done. I don't. I mean, I feel like he's a Kalen DeBoer, where he's going to ruin the program the longer he stays there. Like, you got something going now, and you gotta cut bait with him,
bro. He's doing the same thing all the Oregon coaches do. They win in regular season.
Yep.
But then when it comes to the big game, they always lose.
Yeah,
they can't get over the hump.
They're going to get some good recruits because they got some sweet jerseys, some sweet helmets. They got some
Alabama with their trash jerseys.
Alabama definitely needs some alternates.
# Roll Tide.
Yeah. Hey, no, I would say Oregon in trouble because if Indiana's going to be good, like for the foreseeable future now.
Oh yeah. They're going to be loading up every year.
Like he said, he's a winner.
Just
look at his record.
State. They're still going to be Ohio State every year. So
it's going to be rough going forward in the Big Ten. So I guess we'll start off. Let's review these games real fast. I mean, obviously we kind of got into it already, but let's start with that Oregon Indiana one since we're already talking about it. That was a 56-22 beatdown. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on this Oregon team? We've all kind of hit on it already, but this Oregon team, I don't know if they had a really bad day or if they didn't belong as far as they got or what, but that was not a fun game to watch, in all honesty. It was bad from the start.
Well, look at Oregon last year. They didn't have a good day when they played Ohio State.
Right.
It seems like every time you're playing the real contender, you turn into a paper tiger. You get folded up and then you get dunked in water and you shred.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you guys could do to stop Indiana, just like you couldn't do against Ohio State last year. Oregon's got a problem at coaching. It's called, once you get a coach that's better than you or talent that's across the field that's just as good as your guys, you get folded every time.
Yeah. Well, and like, I know we touched on it in our preview. We talked about like Indiana has probably the best coach in college football right now. We knew going in this was going to be a tough game. I mean, Curt Cignetti is superior to anyone right now. Between the recruiting and the transfer portal, like this guy's building a powerhouse. It's been 2 years and he's already built up a powerhouse. I mean, they're about to win a national championship. Let's not get ourselves.
In fact, they already went up to Oregon and beat them in Oregon this year. So
yes,
neutral site game. You kind of knew what it was going to be.
And that's where I was
went
going
all the way down to Atlanta and punched them in the mouth too. Yeah. I mean, these guys have proven
Oregon's fans ain't even show up.
Right. Oh yeah, it was all red in there. I mean, it was crazy.
Indiana's proven they're a Midwest team. They can go out in the cold and whoop you. They can go grab old daddy's belt and bring it to you.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where I was
going. Old Roll Tide
is like we had talked about it's hard to beat the same team twice in a year. It is. It's very hard, especially when you're talking these big time schools. It's so hard to beat the same team twice. But Indiana just showed us, A, it's possible, and B, not as hard as we thought.
Not
honestly.
only did they show us it's possible, they showed them the first game was a fluke. All right, you're going to play us close the first game. Second game, we're going to come at you. We know what you're doing. We're going to scheme for you. And this comes down to coaching. Like, you know how it is. Regular season, you're probably not going to worry about specifics of the game. You're not going to scheme up the game as well as you would for a championship or playoff games.
Right.
And that's exactly what was proven is the coaches had a little bit more time. They knew who they were going to go against. They knew what your tendencies were going to be. And instead of it being a 3-point game, it was 56 to 22?
I'm going to tell you the difference between every other school in Indiana. All the schools that got the bye week, Indiana's the only one that got the win.
Right.
All the rest of them boys lost.
Well, it's because Cignetti's got them boys hungry.
Yeah.
I mean, he did the same thing over at JMU, turned them into a playoff school now. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, they made the playoff this year. I mean, granted, we all said they didn't belong, which I still believe they didn't belong, but it just goes to show you what this guy is capable of. Like, he built up a JMU program, brought him from Division II, or I don't know if it's Division II, FCS, I believe, but
had them reverse the ruling so that they could become a team right on the first season, swapping over.
Yep. And you know, he went from winning a national championship there at JMU, brings them up to Division I, goes over to Indiana, gets them in the playoff immediately the first year. And then now, like we said, he's about to win a national championship at Indiana. I mean, I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan, and I'll be the first one to say, like, I don't know if Miami's going to beat this team. Like,
I think the Hoosiers are gonna be beat the crap out of you
I don't know
guys.
if they're gonna roll them.
Well,
Miami do got a defense, and they
got a defense. They got a great offense as well. But you watch that last game against Ole Miss. What's the consistent problem that Miami keeps having? They get themselves in seriously good situations and then find a way to do something boneheaded and go back, and then they can't do anything with the ball after that. You do that one time against the Hoosiers, and you're going to have the buzzsaw coming at you.
You could be in trouble, but I would say, we talking about this first game, but Miami's built like your old school SEC team, right?
Yes, they are, and that's
play like a SEC team, right?
Yep, and I think that's what's going to advantage them and keep them in that game. I do agree with you also, Trenton, though. I think the biggest problem with Miami is they make a lot of mistakes, boneheaded mistakes. They kind of hurt themselves, but the really big problem in this game is going to be Indiana doesn't do that. Indiana plays almost as perfect as you can play. I mean, they make very few mental errors. They hardly have penalties. They're just on cue all the time.
Even when they do make the boneheaded mistake, they're so explosive that they get out of it like that. They just turn the page. All right, yeah, we're back. 1st and 15, 2nd and 20.
Right.
Oh, here's a 30-yard pass play. What are you going to do now?
Yep.
Yeah, Indiana, they definitely looking like the best team right now, but everybody's beatable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And anybody can have a bad day.
Yep.
So, we ain't seen Indiana really face that pressure yet. You know what I'm saying? How are they going to react when it's real? When there's pressure? Oh, we ain't felt this before,
Right.
Well, I mean, you can look back at last year. There's a lot of return guys that had to deal with the playoff loss that they had last year, and they all know it. In their belly, they don't want that again. So they faced that last year, and that's why they've been steamrolling people so well. And even Cignetti, I mean, to come out there and have that much confidence. What did he say? You're a top 20 team. We're going to beat you.
Yep.
We're going to beat you by 20 points, and he's proven it.
Yeah,
we're coming out here with.
I definitely got Indiana winning it all, but it wouldn't surprise me if Miami beat them, though. That's
right.
Like, this is the last game. You're gonna play your hardest. This is for the championship.
Yep.
Like everybody gonna put it on the line.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. I mean, all these pretty much. All the games been good except for the games that Indiana played in.
Right.
Let's hope that trend doesn't follow. Championship is a good game.
I want a good game, yes. So, okay, over to the other game. We had Miami beat Ole Miss. It was 31-27. And, I mean, that game.
Great game.
Watching that game, like, it could have been a little more out of hand, honestly. Like, Miami did make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, they kept pushing themselves into bad situations where it looked like they were finally going to grab the Ole Miss's throat and put them on the mat, and then they just released it. They would have a boneheaded offsides. They'd have a false start. They'd have an illegal formation. They'd have, you name it, just undisciplined football.
Right.
And it would cost them. And then and this is what I think is going to happen when they play Indiana is you're going to have to put it in Carson Beck's hands, and he doesn't make the best decisions. Okay. And you watch the beginning of that game, too. When Carson Beck had to make some throws, he had to get those butterflies out of him before he started settling down. And if he
settled down, he fouled out.
He looked good, dude.
If you do that against this Hoosiers team, they're gonna watched it. Oregon did that first play of the game.
Yeah.
Boom, we're going to go to the house on you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Miami ain't throwing it the first play. They giving it to Fletcher.
Right. Fletcher is going to start that game off, I think.
for sure. Yeah.
I'm going to argue with you a little bit on that because I don't think Beck played that bad. Yes, he made a couple overthrows at the beginning of the game, but I mean, let's be real about it. Every quarterback has a couple overthrows in a game. I think Beck has actually stepped up a lot, and I'll be the first one to say, like, when he transferred there, being a Miami fan, I wasn't on board with it. I was kind of like, man, we got Carson Beck. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Beck. I didn't like him at Georgia, but I think he's actually had a really good year. He's had a few down games, but I mean, everybody does that, you know. And I don't know. I think he's really stepped up in this playoffs. I think he's looked really good.
Game that I believed him back.
Right.
The rest of the playoff, he didn't really have to do too much because y'all running game and y'all defense.
Right.
Well, I mean, they played Texas A&M, and that was just going to be a running game.
Yeah,
and whoever could actually kick a field goal that game. I mean, the wind was just so bad. I mean, this. I don't see that. What, Ohio, they had to run the ball. That's really how they got their bread and butter.
Right.
This was the first time it was, hey, Beck, you got to get us out of situations that we put ourselves in. And he was capable of doing it and did do it enough to win them the game.
I told Nelson that when we did our show, I said Beck's he's gonna have to play well for them to win.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just think that in order for him to beat Indiana, he's not gonna have to play well. He's gonna have to play out of his skull.
I agree with that, but
and if you start the game sailing balls, that defense seems to always find a way to just be there.
They're gonna be alive.
And I agree with you there, but I don't think he's gonna have to play that great. I mean, he's gonna have to have a good game, regardless. He's gonna have to.
He's gonna have to play that
they're
great just
gonna
because he's
rely
got
on that run
Mendoza
game.
on the other side of him.
They're gonna rely on that run game and that defense, and I think it's good enough.
What y'all think about the no call at the end of the game?
Good no call. It was a good no call.
They were both hand fighting. They were both playing each other. You let the ball fall where it's going to fall. You knew it was going to be a Hail Mary. Kind of same rules you do in the NFL. You're not going to throw it at the end of the game unless you're the replacement refs in Seattle.
Hey, actually, I thought that was a good call by the replacement refs though. In that Seattle game. Hey, all I'm gonna say is this: I talked to him on the phone about it. The Ole Miss receiver definitely initiated the contact first. That's a fact.
Yes,
but what I don't like about football. Oh, it's the end of the game. We ain't gonna call it. No, if it's interference, we got to call interference, no matter what time of the game it is. That they're not getting that ball in the end zone. This ain't the NFL. It would be a 15-yard penalty. You got another play. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you look at that. The NFL did do that against the Eagles Chiefs. Their Super Bowl, first time they went together, and they call a holding that they hadn't called all game long, and it gives the Chiefs the ball so they can score the field goal and walk away with the win. I mean,
yeah, that's crap.
Now what you're going to do is, let's call a PI and put it on the 1 yard line for these guys. No, you let the ball fall where it's going to fall. Otherwise, you're putting it in. All right, the refs have now decided this game instead of letting the players decide it.
I feel like that's a different scenario because if they ain't call nothing the whole game, then I feel you. That's crazy for you to call it now. But if they was consistent through the whole game, then I don't mind that. But if they ain't call anything the whole game, then that's crazy.
Well, and a lot of these refs in the college have been doing that, where we're going to let the players decide. We're really going to hold our whistles most of the game, and we're only going to call things that, all right, you held there, and it cost the player from making a tackle. So yeah, we've got to call that play. I mean, you're hand fighting at the end of the game. You both have a good shot at the ball. I think you let the ball fall where it fell.
Right. Oh, I wasn't saying that. I'm just saying I think you should call. If you're going to call it consistently. If it's a penalty, I feel like you got to throw the flag. Like, just like in basketball. If it's a foul, call the foul. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, no, we ain't going to call it because it's the end of the game. No, it's a foul. Call the foul. You
know? I agree with you on that. What made me think it was a good no call was just like me and you talked about, the fact that the receiver was the one that initiated it. And then the reaction was the defender grabbing on, and then they did kind of both go down.
Right.
And granted, the defender is kind of the one that took him down, but I just feel like in that situation, like when you initiate the contact and then you go down because of it,
didn't do that. You know, now you can throw that
right.
Call the PI for defense.
But since you did it first, now you can't be crying, dog.
So
exactly.
What would have happened then is why they would have thrown a penalty and called it on both players, which would have been an offensive PI because you're trying to get yourself in position to catch the ball. And it was rightfully so, should have been an offensive PI. And then the defensive player called it. So you're wanting an extra play in the game. No, we're just
No,
going to
you
let
ain't
the
gonna
ball
get
fall
that.
where it's going to
Right.
fall.
Right.
No.
You
with
you both had your hand fighting there. This is where the game ends. If you caught it, cool. If you didn't, too bad, so sad.
Yep.
You did everything you could to out leverage the defender, and this is what you got.
Yeah, I would say I don't know, man. I feel like Miami, they earned that game. They earned that victory. They're gonna come out us against the world.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody picking Miami.
Oh yeah. You know Miami's coming out in this game thinking that everyone is against them. Like, let's be honest. Indiana is definitely a Cinderella story right now.
Oh, it's
Miami's trying to play this label of Cinderella story, but Miami, you're not a Cinderella story. You're really a blue blood in college football. You should be there every
great. I
year.
don't know. I would disagree with you.
You think so?
They're more of a Cinderella story because they haven't been there, done
They haven't
anything.
they
but
haven't done nothing. Since they've been
The worst
ACC.
case for them is they want to be the Cinderella story, and you got Indiana, who's America's sweetheart right now.
Okay, that's fair. To me it feels more like I think Miami's that team that everyone expects should be there and doesn't make it. So to me that doesn't make you really a
I don't think
Cinderella
nobody
story.
expect Miami to be there.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say
not this year. I'm just saying like
Well,
but it
in
has-
general.
in
Miami
general-
is
well,
a
so you're
program.
thinking-
I don't think so because
Yeah.
Miami's in the ACC. I mean, the ACC has been known for a few champions here and there. It's not like they were
Clemson.
the old school SEC team where it's constantly we're getting in there, and now it's changed from SEC power to Big Ten power.
Right.
They're still an ACC team. And what's the allure going over there now, especially now when you have circumstances outside of your control where
Right.
your quarterback goes down and you're the Seminoles, and then you get kicked out of the playoffs. But you have an SEC team
They
who
shouldn't have
can
made the
lose their
playoffs.
head coach and get into the playoffs,
Right.
and they have control over this situation.
Hey, that's totally different. Though. Totally different. And that those two situations, I feel like with the Florida State quarterback and then the coach
Yeah.
leaving, it's totally different.
Yeah, because Florida State had no control over their player going down. It's not their fault that he went down, and
It
that
ain't their fault
defense,
that it ain't
their
their
defense
fault.
is still playing great.
But
But
they're-
you're letting a team
Nah.
go in
I disagree.
and they have a head coach that they could choose to have on the roster who was willing to coach, and you let him cut bait and leave, and you make him leave, and all the personnel with him, and then you're going to still reward them with a playoff spot.
yeah, heck yeah.
That's a bunch of
And
BS.
it's
You're choosing SEC bias over ACC or raw talent.
I respond to you. Ole Miss went 12-1, one loss. They was one of the best 12 teams to get in.
Right.
Florida State, once that quarterback got hurt, they played 2 more games without him. They was trash,
And
absolute trash. They was barely beating trash teams. So-
they went undefeated until they played Georgia and
I hear
didn't
you,
start
but
anybody
they
because
would've
what
got-
was the reward to go into that game and I'm going to stop.
Even
I'm going to play a
who
bowl
that
game against Georgia.
Who would have played? Even it don't matter. Whoever Florida State would have played, that defense would have been wore down in the second quarter. It would have been over. It would have been bad because your offense ain't giving you nothing at all. It's just like some of these teams right here. If your offense ain't giving you nothing, you in trouble.
Yeah. I think
felt bad for Florida State, but they did not deserve
Yes,
to get in there.
but again, I don't disagree with you, but then why have the bias to letting Ole Miss, who has control over this, into the playoffs even this year?
Because they was 12-1 and they
It doesn't matter. You let the coach leave. You let your coach leave. You just proved that with Florida State, you have no control over it. Your quarterback went out. You chose to now kick yourself out of the playoffs, and it opens a spot for another team.
No. I disagree with that. They still had their whole entire team. Only person that was gone was Skipping. They had both of their coordinators there, and they made it to the semis. So I feel like the committee did a good job.
I don't disagree with you, but it was
feel
good.
like-
It was good that they were in the playoffs.
Committee,
But the way that
Florida
they did
State-
it is BS because
Bro,
you just set a precedent of, well, you can have something that happens outside of your control,
hey,
dictate these things, and then you have something inside of your own control, and you're going to let it go.
I'm with the committee. If another team starting quarterback get hurt and they get some more games and they trash, don't let them in. We want to see the best teams. If your quarterback's the most important position, if you don't got no good quarterback and y'all look trash, I'd rather put somebody else in.
But
Why
you're
would
undefeated. You deserve that spot. You're going to say 12-1. They deserve the spot because they're so good and they have all this talent. Well, Seminoles were still undefeated at that point in time.
Seminoles ain't been a Seminoles since that game.
Yeah, and why would they
That
be
is
the
very
Seminoles
true.
when all of a sudden now you've just proven you can get all the talent in the world, but if we have a quarterback or something goes down, we're in the ACC, they're going to bounce us. We're not the SEC. We're not the Big Ten. We're going to get bounced because we're the ACC, and the second they get a chance to cut the line, cut the cord, they're going to do
It
it.
had nothing to do with that. But the problem was Florida State didn't have a good backup. If it would have been
Well, and I mean,
Alabama and their quarterback got hurt, And they probably have a backup that could play, and they probably would still look like Bama. Florida State did not look like the same team at all. They look like a completely different team whenever that quarterback that broke his leg. I forgot his name. He just retired.
Who was it? I want to say Jordan Travis, but I don't think that's right. Was it?
Yeah,
was it? Okay.
He just retired from football. Yeah, like Travis was making that team run. That offense ran through him.
Well,
once he got hurt, they looked like the Bad News Bears out there. They couldn't get nothing going.
But again, this goes to my point of the SEC bias versus ACC. Look at what happened with Miami this year. They didn't even let them play in their own championship game. They have Duke, who goes out there. Why are you having Duke in your own auto bid, and then you don't even give it to them?
That is crazy.
And then Miami ends up going on this powerhouse run, and they're in the Natty now. I mean, this is just bias. I'm calling it out for what it is. You're looking for anything you can to cut an ACC team, and that's what's proven is you are choosing the SEC over ACC.
That was the ACC's fault. That had nothing to do with the committee. The ACC set the rules that Miami lost conference games, so they didn't have the best record in the conference to make the game.
But the committee broke the rules of the auto bid, which should have been Duke. Which should have been Duke in this game instead of Miami. Again, this is the committee making the bias of, all right, we're going to choose our teams, and we're putting Notre Dame in, and then it's going to get too much flack because they lost the first game of the season against Miami, but we're still going to let them in. Well, then all the fans are coming up our butts and telling us, hey, you can't do that because the first game of the season still counts because it obviously counted against Texas. So we have to let Miami in. Miami ends up going on this historic run. I'm just saying every time it seems like the ACC has a chance to get bounced, they find a way to make sure it happens, whereas you have a same reason to get rid of the SEC Ole Miss team. Your coach is gone. You chose to let him leave, even though he said he would coach the entire playoffs. You let him go, and then you're going to allow that team to go into the playoffs? I mean, they had a great year. They had a great season. But you have other teams in the ACC that have things that fall out of their control, and you cut them first chance you get.
Hey, if Duke mad at anybody, it should be James Madison and Tulane.
Oh, absolutely.
ACC, it's better than both of them conferences.
Well, and I looked some of this up because we had some people comment on our video about all this, saying that what the committee actually said was the 4 conference winners with the best records would get the auto bids. Now, I looked this up. That is not exactly what they said at the beginning when this all started. What they actually said was the winners of the Power 4 conferences would get auto bids. That would be the SEC, the Big 10, the ACC, and the Big 12, right?
Yep.
Those are your Power 4. Now, what I did find is that throughout the season, as things were looking a little funny, it did get changed to, the best conference winners are going to get in. No. That's not what you said, though. You said the Power 4 conferences. And I think the reason this all stemmed was because of Boise State last year getting an auto bid, being the Mountain West winner, and then getting bounced in the first round in a bad game. They were trying to get away from something like that, but they ended up putting themselves in the same situation now. And I could be wrong. Like I said, I was looking some of this up, and that's what I took from it. But my argument is if you're going to put the champion of the Power 4 in, you've got to put Duke in. I don't agree with it. I don't think Duke should have been there.
They won their conference.
They did win their conference.
You backed yourselves into a corner with the wording that you put in.
Right.
Too bad, so sad. It takes the spot, but that's the auto bid that you put in.
Right. Which means that Miami wouldn't have been in.
Get no auto bid unless they play a treacherous schedule.
I think
your whole non-conference need to be Power 4.
I think we need to get rid of all the auto bids. There should be no auto bids.
Yeah.
Put the best 12 teams in.
Committee.
Well, I think we just need to go to a 25 team bracket. Exactly. If you're already going to have the top 25 that you're watching all year long, why wouldn't you just go to a playoff bracket that's exactly like basketball, where you're going to allow these teams to settle it out and you're going to sift it out? I mean,
that's what I keep
the whole
saying.
system is garbage.
It really doesn't make sense.
Well, and why circle the 25
teams
right? Exactly.
Yeah, why circle the top 25 teams? And you got hundreds of more teams in college football than you have in the NFL, and they got more playoff teams. Like, what are we talking about here? If you're having a spectacular season, fine, prove it on the court. If you're ranked 25, you're in the conference.
Right.
And then I think the way that you could do this as well is you go off of last year's ranking as well. So if you ended this year, Indiana number 1 on the ranking, then guess what? You start next year as number 1 until you play game 1.
Yes, I agree with that. I think we need to get away from all these preseason rankings. I mean, obviously these preseason rankings are not accurate.
Well, I mean, you look at it like NFL. What do they do? You win the Super Bowl, you draft number 32. It means you're the best team in the league.
Right.
It's the same thing with college. You won the Natty, you're the best team in the country.
Yep.
Until somebody
regardless
you or you play crappy, then we start ranking you from that point on. But you got to start with the ranking that you ended last year.
Right.
And that's what's going to push these teams to actually have really good games at the end of the year and play your bowl games, because those bowl games can then affect your ranking, right?
Yep.
So, all right, well, you're 25 or 24 or you're 30 and you have a chance to break inside the
top
25.
Right.
Guess what? You're going to play your heart out. You're going to have players that are going to come into your school and go, hey, we want to be top 24 and get more prospects coming to our school.
Right. And you're not going to have guys sitting out bowl games because, well, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go get ready for the draft. Well, no, these games should matter. They should matter. That's the last game of your season. It's your last chance to show these scouts what you've got. I mean, to me as a scout, I wouldn't like that. I would look at that as like he gave up on his team. Like, I want a guy who's going to be there for the team, you know? But I understand it from the business decision as well. As a top recruit, why would I put myself on the line and my health on the line for a game that's not going to matter? I'm going to sit this out and I'm going to go pro and make my millions. You know, I get it. I don't agree with it.
No reason to go play in a Little Caesars Bowl.
Right, exactly. And that's what we need to get back to, making these games matter. But so we kind of reviewed, well, we didn't kind of review. We reviewed the 2 games. So let's get into this championship game. We've got Miami versus Indiana in Miami. This is a home game for the Miami Hurricanes. They're playing in Hard Rock Stadium.
And usually only half their fans show up in the first place. So I think Hoosiers are going to come in and it's going to be a 75-25 split.
Well, I think
the Hoosiers have been hurting for a championship since the 60s.
Yes.
I mean, this is their final.
Well, they've never won a championship.
Yeah, finally their time to prove that they're
Miami
the school.
Fans will show up, though.
I think this game they'll be there. This is big for Miami. And this is kind of going back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I'm not saying that Miami is a blue blood because of what they've done recently. I'm saying when you look at historically college football, Miami is a blue blood school. Miami is, like we've said before, Miami being back is good for college football. This is a prominent program. Like, you got some of the best recruits in high school coming out of this area. And for years they've been leaving. Look at Jeremiah Smith. He went to Ohio State. Like, all these kids are leaving the Miami area and going to play somewhere else. Well, they might not be leaving anymore. They might be staying home to play for Miami. You know, like the U is back. This is big. But I do think, okay, back to my question.
Definitely going to go to the U versus Alabama. I mean, I wouldn't go play for Kalen DeBoer. I mean, look at what he's proven.
Yeah,
I'm going to take my team with Washington, the Big Ten, the conference that it is the big conference now, and I've proven that I can't handle the pressure and I can't handle the situation.
Yeah,
and I'm going to bail because the first best job in the SEC comes in, and I think the SEC is a lesser conference now. And then you got Kalen DeBoer leaving his school that he already just took to the national championship instead of running back. I think this is karma for him. You're going to go over to the Alabama, and then you're not going to get the recruits that Alabama normally would get, and they're going to start going to these teams in Florida. Yeah. You're going to have some SEC teams in Florida. You're going to have Ole Miss now, SEC team. You got Louisiana going to be a big player now. You're looking at them losing all their talent now because of this.
Yeah,
Nick Saban ain't coming back.
No, and I mean, why would you go play for him when you can play for other coaches who are from the Saban tree?
Yeah, it's Alabama does have like the historical, especially the recent history of they are still going to attract guys there. But I just don't think it's going to be to the level that it was.
As long as you got DeBoer there, I think you're going to keep losing good talent to other teams.
It's going to keep dwindling down. I agree.
Especially when you got Cignetti in the Big Ten, who's killing it.
Cignetti is going to start.
You got
recruits from.
You got Kirby Smart, who's constantly in the playoffs every year. You got Ole Miss, who's now a player. You got LSU, who's just Texas. You got Texas. I mean,
and
you
Miami's
got
back.
Ohio State. You're looking at these, and then
whatever you want to say about them, Oregon going to get.
Well, and then look at Penn State this year. They just picked up the head coach from Iowa.
Iowa State,
Penn State. Penn State in trouble though. I think they're in trouble.
I think they are in trouble, but I think they got a good coach, but I don't think that program's going to be back to what it was for a while.
Not
Yeah,
Joe
same with
Paterno
Michigan.
trouble, but trouble.
But yeah. But
Joe knew.
so back to my question. Playing at home in this championship game, do you guys think that is an advantage for Miami? I mean, I don't see how it's not,
I
but
don't
what are
think
your
it's
thoughts on
advantage
that?
at all? Because it's a championship game. It's even though they're at home, it's more of a neutral site setting.
It is a neutral site
Indiana's gonna
setting.
Have a lot of fans.
Well, not only that, but championship games usually bring out a lot more money
Yes.
for the seats. So you're going to have big players that care for both of these programs that are going to be there. So
Right.
it's going to be whoever wants to show up for their team. And I think it plays more for Indiana, who's a team that hasn't been there. You're going to have a lot more people from the Midwest, the cold Midwest, that work their butts off.
Yep.
That are going to go down there to nice, warm Florida for a game.
Yep.
And they're going to get rowdy at that game, and they're going to have a good time. I don't think the home field advantage is going to benefit Miami at all over here, especially when you have a team that's Indiana who's proven we don't care where we're playing. We'll beat you. Every blade of grass is ours, and you got to prove that it's not.
Yeah, and I think it is an advantage just in the sense of you're familiar with the stadium, you play there a lot. But I agree with you. I think Indiana's going to travel unbelievably well.
I don't think
This
that.
is not going to feel like
Familiar
a
with the
home
stadium,
game
I mean,
in the
not.
sense, right? It's not going to feel like a home game in the sense of who's in the stands. Like I think we're going to see a lot like what it looked like against Oregon over in Atlanta. It's going to be all red.
Yep.
It's going to be a really tough game. I mean,
I
See you
think-
red.
I think
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Miami will have their fans, bro. I think they'll get. It might be 45, 55, 45. Indiana, maybe.
You think
but
so?
Miami. They don't sell the game out, but they could fill up half of the stadium.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They play in an NFL stadium.
I
I hope
think
so.
I think the big difference is going to be Indiana hasn't been there ever, and Miami has been. Miami's
yeah.
got that pedigree where it's going to be. You got people from Indiana who are going to shell out a good chunk of cash because, hey, our team's never been here and it's finally time.
Right.
It's finally time. We're going to win this thing, and they can feel it. I mean, you look at them; they're just continually beating up teams, 20+
Yeah.
point games spreads that they're just beating you.
But
Yeah.
hey, I would say this. I'll play devil's advocate. I feel like Miami had a tougher road
To get there?
to get to the
Oh, yeah.
championship than Indiana did.
I think so too. I think Indiana. I'm not going to say they didn't play anyone because they played some tough opponents, but I feel like
Oklahoma shouldn't have been
Miami.
there, and I'm gonna agree with Trent. Oklahoma probably shouldn't have been
Right.
there either.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then Oregon,
Oregon just got
everybody
out
picked
coached.
Indiana
But I
over.
mean,
Right.
you look at it beforehand. So Ohio had to play the Big Ten championship and lost to Indiana
That was a
just
close game,
before
though.
just before the playoffs to prove the #1 seed.
And that was a
so-
close game.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
it
close
was.
game, but they still beat them. And
But-
then you have Miami, who had to play that same team in the playoffs. So I mean, you can argue that the playoffs haven't been perfect for Indiana either, because
Well-
you're going into this where you got to prove that we can't get blown out by Ohio, we can't get blown out by Alabama, who's a team that we know we're better
What
than.
was the score of that Ohio State Indiana game?
13-10.
13-10.
Yeah, I think it was
13-10.
13-10.
With a missed field goal from Ohio.
What was the score of the Ohio State Miami game?
I got to look that one up because I can't remember that one.
I know everybody match up different together, but what I'm saying
They
is
do, but
Miami is not afraid of Indiana.
right.
Like,
No,
Miami.
Miami
that
plays
defense can.
physical football.
Yes, they do.
But if you, my biggest thing's going to be for Miami is you have to play smart football.
No,
You
definitely.
you have
Yes.
you cannot make stupid penalties. You cannot be boneheaded. You can't have hits after the whistle. You got to play disciplined football because Indiana's going to be playing disciplined football. And
Oh,
if they out discipline you and you're getting a drive going, and then all of a sudden you're all right, now it's 1st and 10 to 1st and 15.
I think
Miami proved they couldn't do it against Ole Miss. They kept punting the ball, or they'd get themselves in situations where they'd have to settle for field goals. You cannot in this game trade touchdowns for field goals against Indiana.
I think that's going to be the biggest thing for Miami is you cannot beat yourself in this game. And that honestly, that's been their biggest weakness. I mean, you look at their defense. Their defense is awesome. Their offense is really good. Like even their special teams is pretty good. I think the biggest weakness for Miami is the discipline. And it's nothing against the coaching or anything, but it's just honestly, it's a Miami thing. I've noticed it over so many years now where they're just an undisciplined team a lot of times. And it's really hard to beat a team that's about as perfect as they come. And I feel like Indiana's about as perfect as they come. Back to your point, the score of that game was 24-14. Miami beat Ohio State by 10 points. Now, I don't think anybody had Miami beating Ohio State. So for them to go out and play the way they did against Ohio State, being arguably the number one team in the country, next to Indiana, I think that game really kind of showcased that Miami is for real. Miami can beat you. Even making mistakes, Miami can beat you.
Honestly,
well, I mean, you look at that game. Ohio made a lot of mistakes, so
they did. But let's go back to the
I
Ole
just
Miss
don't
game.
see
That's
Indiana being that undisciplined like Ohio was.
Indiana ain't been in that position to where they got to make mistakes. That's what I'm saying. Like, if Miami come out and punch them in the mouth, Miami getting pressure with 3. They rush 3.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If Miami come out and punch them in the mouth, how is Indiana going to respond to that?
And Miami
They're not used to being in that position.
And Miami also showed against Ole Miss that we can make a lot of mistakes and still win a game. They also showed that our defense can keep up with these SEC offenses.
Yeah, we haven't seen Indiana do that, and nobody's perfect. Every team going to stumble. Indiana ain't stumbled yet. Well, is this going to be the game where they finally start making the mistakes? You never know.
Very well.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know me and you talked off camera about the biggest thing with that Ole Miss Miami game going into it was like, can Miami play in the trenches with an SEC team? And they showed us they
Miami
can.
Is a SEC.
That O-line controlled that game. That O-line controlled that game.
Old school Nick Saban, Alabama.
Yes, they are. Yep.
That's how
they run hard. They've got big bruising running backs. They've got a great offensive line. Their D-line gets pressure, like you said, with 3 guys. I mean,
I love that Tony. I love that Tony kid.
Yep. Malachi Tony, I mean,
little dude, but
freak, man.
He made some wicked plays.
Yes. And he's a freshman, a true freshman. That kid should still be a senior in high school.
Yeah, that's insane.
Changing the subject. We live in Williston, North Dakota, and our high school's not good. And they don't play freshmen because freshmen can't play varsity.
Yeah. I mean? You ever heard of that rule?
Yeah. In a place like Williston, we can't play a freshman on varsity.
I played varsity as a freshman.
So did I.
Florida, Texas,
Nevada,
pretty much everywhere in the world that they play football. If you could play, you could play. You know what I'm saying?
If you can ball, you get the call.
You know, championships in a row. Sorry,
it happens.
Yeah,
did win one.
So I mean, in this championship game, I mean, I think Miami is actually going to surprise a lot of people. I think they're going to show up and play really well. I think the discipline is going to be the biggest thing with Miami. I think they've got to stay disciplined. They've got to not beat themselves up and beat themselves in this game. You can't lose the game because you made too many errors and you made too many penalties and gave up too many yards. I honestly think this team is going to lock in and come in, and I don't think we're going to see a lot of mental errors in this game. I think they realize now, hey, we actually got here. I kind of think maybe this team didn't realize how good they actually were. And now that they're there, it's like, it's time to lock in. I'm hoping that's what we see, you know.
Yeah, but it could just add that little bit more pressure to these guys where, all right, now we were actually playing for all the chips, and Indiana's been playing this way since the beginning of the season. They knew they were a heavy favorite. Yeah. Whereas now Miami is all of a sudden, hey, we're actually here. Let's play the game to win it. And that might get in your head. You might start making mental errors more because you're in that situation.
Yeah, overthinking stuff.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, or you're playing like the Carolina Panthers played the other day where it's, hey, we got house money. Let's go for it. Let's just do what we do.
Yeah, and who knows what happens, you know.
Yeah, and if they play like that without a care in the world, Indiana better be ready. Because that's a dangerous team to play against, as a team that's, all right, we got nothing to lose. Might as well give it all.
I will say this, though. I would expect to see these two teams around for a while. Doing what they did this year, Indiana, they've already hit the transfer portal. They've already brought guys in for next year that are going to be studs. Miami is going to start getting more of these recruits that they've been trying to get for years and haven't been able to pull off because they haven't quite been there anymore.
Like home now.
Right. Guys are going to want to stay home and play for the U again.
They're going to get all the Florida State recruits, all of them.
The next Jeremiah Smith is probably not going to Ohio State. He's probably going to go to Miami. He's going to stay home, play in front of his hometown. I remember
when I was growing up, Miami, Florida State,
right?
Florida was all good.
Yes. And
it's been a long time since they've really been in this situation where Florida State, Miami,
that's what I was saying to you.
All these guys are finally good. Yeah.
Right.
Good 20 years, man.
The Gators, they haven't been good since Tebow, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Gators have been down.
Tebow,
Seminoles have been down. They had that 1 year, like.
Yeah, they had Tebow with the Percy Harvin teams.
Yep.
Hernandez. Yeah.
And I mean, the last time Clemson was any good over in the ACC category was what? Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a few years now. Like
Florida State with Jameis Winston.
Yep.
I know they had their run a couple years.
They had that 1 year where they went undefeated, which we already discussed.
We touched on that one.
But no, I think this is really good for the state of Florida. I think it's good for college football. I think Indiana's an awesome team to see in there. I mean, to see a basketball school go to the national championship in football and definitely be the favorite going in, that's a big deal,
I don't think they have football school.
Yeah,
I think
Cignetti,
I agree with you,
Cignetti got over there and immediately legitimized them as they are a football team.
I 100% agree with you.
Now we're no longer just the basketball school.
Yes.
We are here for football.
But they've always been a basketball
and I
school,
think,
is what I'm saying.
I think you're doing it in the Big Ten, which is now I feel like
the powerhouse.
It's what the SEC used to be, which is the end-all be-all of football. Now you have some serious teams in the Big Ten that are constantly playing for solid games, and it seems like every time they play against the SEC team, they just find a way to win them.
If Indiana win this, that's 3 in a row for the Big Ten national championship.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can't argue. I know. Again, we've had some comments talking about like, oh, just because they've went on a small tear, look at the last 20 years. It's like, no. Well, I'm not talking about the best conference of all time. I'm talking the best conference right now. It's been 3 years. Whether Indiana wins or loses this championship, this is 3 years in a row that a Big Ten team has either been in it and won it all, or at least been in it. We haven't seen an SEC team. Like the Big Ten has taken over as the powerhouse of college football.
Like I said, CBS, they went out and gave the Big Ten big money. No.
Yeah, the ESPN got the SEC and
CBS didn't want the SEC.
Exactly. They went after the Big Ten.
They was already over there.
Yes.
They canceled that. Hey, we want the Big Ten.
They saw what was coming.
Somebody knew what was going to happen.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, not only that, but then you had Oregon, Washington, UCLA, and USC all swap over to the Big Ten as well. It just adds more legitimacy to your continuing
USC
squads.
Is like a middle of the pack team.
Right.
Yeah. And you think about that. That's a middle of the pack team for the Big Ten. That's insane.
Yeah, you put them in any other conference. Put them in the ACC.
Michigan's the middle of the pack team.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, Michigan's got a few things going on over there.
Got some problems going
What
on.
about them hiring the dude from Utah, though? He could coach, but I feel like he's old, though.
I think it's a big hire, dude. I think he's going to go there and do really well.
Well, I think they finally had to take a swing that was, hey, we're going to hire somebody who's got some pedigree behind him, got some discipline, and we don't have to worry about no scandals coming up for a minute.
Right. How old is that dude? You got to think about these kids, man. It's hard to relate to somebody super old, bro.
But
I mean, you look at like Mike Tomlin. He seems to find a way to always relate to all the new guys every time they come in.
Not a good example.
Well, I'm just saying there's a reason why all the players like him in the locker room.
Like him because he's nice.
Yeah, but you're talking about now you're going to have a squad that's going to like the guy because he's going to be nice and personable, and then on top of it, he's got some football knowledge behind him where they haven't had any experience with a guy like this. They've had experiences with Harbaugh, and then you had the last coach.
I've been watching Well Out Media. That's Deion Sanders' son's YouTube channel, and I remember him. He's filming everything, and when Colorado got a win, Pat Shermer's the OC, and he's trying to celebrate with the kids, and this looked awkward.
Right.
Down, you old as hell, bro.
And
I don't. You know what I mean? Like,
don't break your hip now.
I agree with you that it is hard for these older guys to relate, but
it's not hard for Belichick. I mean, look at his 24-year-old girlfriend there.
Yeah,
but look at
Carolina, team trash.
But look at the product, though.
Well. That's another conversation. You think Belichick was the glue that held the Patriots together, or Tom Brady? I mean, looking at the Tar Heels, he does not know how to coach, is what it looks like to me. But we'll see this next year.
He knows how to coach. He just
really.
You couldn't win that many.
You couldn't do anything with the Patriots after Brady left. Then you go over to the Tar Heels, and then you're supposed to be this vaunted coach, and Saban's pumping you up left and right, and then what do you do this year?
College is a different game, though.
No,
Look at Saban at Miami.
Man, hold up. No,
Look at Saban in the NFL.
Saban, that's what I'm saying. Look at Saban in the NFL.
And then he finally found Alabama. But I'm saying, if you find the right situation and the right quarterback, which Belichick finally found, he left the Giants, he left the Browns, and then he finally goes to New England, and it wasn't all that great. You had Bledsoe, who happened to go down, and then the godsend 6th pick of the draft, Tom Brady comes in. Yeah, 6th round pick, sorry. 6th round pick in the draft comes in and saves your skin and brings you to the most Super Bowls any head coach has ever been to, and then you can't do anything afterwards. It's not you who's the coach who's the good part of this team. It's the quarterback and everybody who bought into the quarterback buying into your crap.
I would say this, and I would say Belichick told Kraft that Tom Brady was done.
Yeah.
And Brady went and won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Right.
Well, and you look
Belichick got fired.
You look at Belichick. He always wanted to cut bait on his players 2 to 3 years early so he could get something out of them.
Yep.
He did the same thing with Tom Brady, and then the boy goes and leaves, goes to Tampa Bay, brings them a Super Bowl. Oh, and by the way, if Tom Brady's not playing for the Patriots, Gronkowski, hey, I'm out of here. I'm gonna leave. Oh, you're gonna trade me to the Lions? No, I'm gonna retire. And then, oh, hey, can you trade me to the Bucks now?
Yeah, I don't think that you win that many Super Bowls as a coach without knowing something. I mean, I don't think he's a trash coach.
But he was the Browns coach. They was trash.
Yeah. I just don't think he was a trash coach.
Well, you want to look at his career as a Giants defensive coordinator. It's not hard to coach Lawrence Taylor. You put him out there and say, "Hey, go hit the quarterback." That's what he does. The guy was on drugs, but he was still killing people.
Yeah,
I mean,
but literally killing people.
I don't think. I don't know. I disagree with that. I don't think Belichick was a bad coach. I just think Belichick, he's old. I mean, same thing you just said. You can't relate to these guys at college levels. Like, come on.
Yeah, but you couldn't even do anything with the Patriots after Tom Brady left.
Yeah,
I mean.
And Saban was good at LSU too.
And then you have your head coach.
That's what I'm saying. In college, Saban was awesome, but in the NFL, he wasn't. It's a different game.
You can't talk to these grown men like you talk
exactly.
To
it's a different game. Like the NFL moves so much faster than college football. It's a totally different game. I mean, I think Belichick. Yeah, he fell off when Brady left because Brady was definitely the majority of what was going on there. But do you think Brady would have done the same thing with Eric Mangini as his coach?
I think
you think he would have done?
I feel like once Brady got established, it wouldn't have mattered.
With that defense that he had, it wouldn't have mattered the head coach.
I don't know.
Once he got his knowledge base behind him, I mean, look at him. You look at the Bucks; they haven't done anything since Tom Brady. He brought them to that championship and proved it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a hard one to debate.
Tom Brady's a gangster, and he proved that he knows football better than everybody else, and he can sling the pill better than everybody else.
I don't know about slinging the pill better than everybody else.
No,
well, I mean, there's a reason he's winning. There's a reason why he's got the rings. He put himself in situations to win games all the time.
If we talking about the slinging that pill, I'll take Dan Marino.
Yeah, and his 0 Super Bowls, right?
Hey, he has some trash teams. Hey, just look. Hey, look at the numbers Marino put up back in. What year was that? In the 80s.
That's fine.
You get slammed on your neck.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And he was
you also look at Tom Brady started his career in the same era. You get slammed on your neck. You get people who are getting decapitated in the middle of the field. Like we were just talking about this. The Steelers-Ravens games of the past are now gone because the NFL's gone soft. I mean, you're talking about these players. Tom Brady had to bridge the gap between I was getting killed every play, and they were just hitting me, and now I got some protection. My receivers got some protection, which really helped longen his career up and give him more opportunity to play these games a lot longer. Whereas you can argue Marino probably would have had more years if he wasn't getting completely killed his entire career.
Marino doesn't have no good team.
I think, the thing with Tom Brady is Tom Brady was never the best at
he wasn't maybe the best at slinging the pill.
If the Steelers would have drafted Marino, man, we wouldn't have went on no drought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right.
So Marino's from Pittsburgh. He's from Oakland. Yeah. He lived in the same neighborhood he went to college at, and we could have got him, and they didn't draft him.
So I misspoke. I don't think he's the best quarterback to sling the pill, but he is the most clutch quarterback. If you want him, you want a quarterback in your 2-minute drill to win the Super Bowl, to win the big game, you got Tom Brady, and that's what he proved his career on.
I'm taking Big Ben second, baby. Brady first, Big Ben second.
I don't know about that.
Manning.
I'd take old Montana over Big
I'm
Ben.
taking Big Ben second.
Peyton Manning, come
Peyton
on,
Manning,
now.
yeah.
The old sheriff, I don't know if I'd take him. He was a good explosive guy, but he just proved every time he didn't have a team around him, he couldn't do it. And there's a reason why he kept running into the buzzsaw that was the New England-led Patriots.
Yeah,
All right, back
it was a soft team. Like
back to college
Yeah.
here. So let's get back to this. What's your guys' prediction then? I think let's see what
I'm gonna go on a limb, man. I got the U. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I'm taking Miami because everybody else is taking Indiana. I think Miami gonna shock the world. I got Miami.
Trenton, what's your thoughts on this game?
I think this is going to be a BTA game. Hoosiers are going to come after Miami.
Andy, what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the old Hoosiers.
With-
All right.
With the Big Ten because I'm a Big Ten guy.
Well,
And the Hoosiers are a really good team.
they are
It's
awesome,
going to look
man.
like old
This team
daddy
is
coming
good.
home from the liquor store.
That's what everybody thinks. That's why I think Miami. I'm telling you.
Well, I'm
I
gonna
told you so.
Hey,
I'm gonna have
we'll
to agree.
We'll have a podcast afterwards so you can rub it in our face when they
yeah,
do
hey,
win.
Hey, Miami fans, I got y'all, dog.
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with Carlos. I think Miami's gonna come out and shock the world in this game. I think Miami, like I said, I think they're gonna be locked in. I think you're gonna see those mental errors kind of go away. I think they know at this point, like, hey, we actually have a chance to do this, and I think they're gonna come out ready to play. I think you're gonna see Mark Fletcher run. I think I'm gonna say Mark Fletcher is gonna go for 120 yards and at least one touchdown. And I think Miami's going to shock the world, dude. I think they're going to beat Indiana. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm not saying it's going to be any kind of blowout, but I think they're going to win it, dude. I'm going with you.
And in order for Miami to win, they have to keep this thing close.
Yep.
It has to be at least a touchdown or field goal
Why
game.
do you
Yep.
think
They
that
have
is
to
going to get
keep
so
the
out
ball
of hand, though?
out of the
That's
Just
the thing.
because
I don't.
every situation that the reason I think it's going to get out of hand is every situation that this Indiana team is going to have to play this thing perfect and be tight. You look, they're supposed to have this really hard game against Alabama because Alabama's supposed to be something special. Proved Alabama was garbage, and then Oregon, was supposed to be really, really good. I mean, they were fourth in the nation.
Who said that though? Like
Oh,
our podcast ain't say that.
Well, our podcast didn't say that because we see things, but I'm just saying you look at it, and that's what everyone was saying. And then you're going to have this team that's wasn't supposed to be here in the first place, and they're going to come into this game. And I feel like Indiana's just going to prove, like they've said before, we don't care if you're a top 20 team. We got you.
I don't know. I think what makes the difference here is if you look at Indiana's games, pretty much every one of them, they've gotten out to a really fast start, and that makes it hard to
Never
come
had
back.
play with no pressure.
Right.
Bro. That's what I'm saying. How's Indiana going to react when it's a close game?
Right. Like,
I ain't had no close game since the Ohio State game.
yep.
But that was
Ohio State you
that was
beat
for all
by
the
three.
that was all the chips on the table, and they still walked away with the win.
I feel you there.
They've proven that they
But this is
can
gonna be
come
that
in.
type of game. The game how they played Ohio State. It's going to be that type
And
of
the
game
first
with Miami.
matchup they had against Oregon was a close game for them
It
too.
was on the road.
And then look at what they did, BTA this last game. I mean, I feel like Indiana's ready for any kind of football that they have to play, and they're going to play it.
All I'm saying is Indiana ain't faced no adversity these whole playoffs yet. So how are they going to react if they face adversity in the championship?
Well, you talk about not having to face adversity, but even you said it at the beginning of this. There was 4 teams that got a bye, and what happened to 3 of them?
Shit,
They had
the only one.
they had to play with adversity of coming in with a week's worth of rest, and they still come in and prove that they were them.
No, their coaching staff did a hell of a job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, I just just watching Miami, there's something about them. You could all these teams they went through. Telling you they went through some tough teams and they just keep winning. And I'm just gonna keep saying this. They play so physical.
right.
Like the physicality,
They wear you
man,
down.
is different. Like they play old school. We're gonna run the ball.
Yep.
We're gonna play defense. We're gonna smack you. We're gonna
Yep.
hit you hard.
Miami's also got to take care of the football. They can't
Yeah.
turn it over like Oregon did.
But that's both teams though. Indiana
Yeah.
can't turn it over.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about
I
2
understand
opportunistic
Indiana's
defenses.
good, but they ain't perfect. Like they've been perfect, but I'm
Right.
telling you, all it takes is fumble. Miami's up 14-9. How Indiana gonna respond if they down 14-9?
Yeah,
Now,
right.
now the Rabbit got to go.
I'm glad you brought that up though, Andy, because that is something that I've noticed is like in these games, like you can say that Indiana's forcing a lot of turnovers, but that Oregon game, a lot of those were not forced turnovers. They were bad plays by Oregon. Like they kind of handed that game to them. Where Miami, like I said, like Indiana gets out to a really fast start. It seems like every game, all of a sudden they're up 10-0 or 14-0. And it's like, that's hard to come back from no matter who you're playing.
Yeah.
The thing with Miami is we saw them get out to a fast start against Ohio State and they held on and won that game. But we didn't see them get out to a fast start against Ole Miss. That was a tough game all the way down to the wire.
Right.
And I feel like Miami just did enough to stay in that game, hold them off, and end up winning it. And I think that to me is what makes the difference with Miami. I think that's why I'm taking Miami, is because I think if there is any adversity in this game, let's say Mendoza comes out there and does what Dante Moore did. Let's say on that first drive, not even the first play, but let's just say that first drive, he throws a pick six like Ohio State did against Miami. Miami's up 7-0. Let's say Miami stops them, drives down, scores a touchdown, or even a field goal. They're up 10-0.
Yeah,
what is this Indiana team going to look like down 10-0 or 14-0? We don't know yet because we haven't seen it.
I don't think it's going to matter. I think Indiana's got that killer mentality that it doesn't matter if we're up, we're down, we're sideways, we're coming at you, and we're going to find a way to win this thing.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out.
I mean, they can get behind the 8 ball, and maybe it's something that the defense of Miami is just so opportunistic once that happens that they become like the Legion of Boom of old, where we got the lead, we're going to pin our ears back, and you just can't beat us because we got you now.
Yeah, what's number 4 name again?
Ruben Bain Jr.
Ruben Bain Jr. is a menace.
He should be the number 1 pick in the draft. I am sticking to that. I think Ruben Bain Jr.
Well, the first pick of the draft is going to be Mendoza because the Raiders need a quarterback. So they can ruin his career.
I just need a quarterback, and they still don't got no lineman.
Well, he's going to go to the black hole.
I just think
ruin his career there.
I just think Ruben Bain is the best prospect coming out this year. I don't think there's anyone close. I think Mendoza is actually going to be a really good quarterback in the NFL. The more I watch him, the more I'm like, man, this kid
that guy can throw some serious darts.
Really good.
Some of those balls that are coming out of his hands are on a tight string. Like, holy cow!
He's going to the Raiders.
Right. No, I agree with you. That's going to hurt.
Until he leaves there, he's going to be a great quarterback. He just needs to be like Mayfield.
Darnold.
Yeah, he's got to be like Baker Mayfield and get out of the Browns. He's got to be like Darnold and get away from the Jets.
Though, man, the NFL, we never really know.
Right.
Maybe he'll be good. It might be somebody in this draft that we ain't even talking about that's going to be better than all of them.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know. Quarterback is a gamble. It's like
you can have the next Tom Brady in there, and we don't know it.
You don't
Not
know.
until he's there.
Like you got guys like C.J. Stroud. He came out, had a great rookie year, and then second year, whether or not good this year, he was all right.
Right.
Well, I mean, you look at Jaden Daniels. He did that same thing.
He did,
solid, and then falls completely off, and then
So we're 2-2 here. It sounds like we got 2 Miami and 2 Indiana.
Yeah.
So what do we think on final score? You guys want to make predictions on the final score?
Man, I would say Miami, say 33-28.
33-28. Okay. Trent, what do you think?
I got 35-10.
35-10. Dang.
Crazy.
All right. This guy's hating over here.
The only way Miami wins this thing is if they can keep it close, like Carlos said. If they can't, it's going to be the Hoosier show.
What do you think, Andy? Don't tell me 56-0. Come on.
No, I'm actually kind of thinking it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be a defensive battle, but
you think so?
I think Indiana will come out on top, though.
I don't know. I think, like I said, I think Miami's going to win this game. I think they're going to come out, get a fast start on them. I think they're going to jump ahead, and they're really going to push Indiana to find out, like, what is this team actually made of? Like you said, like, they haven't had to really play from behind at all. And if Miami can get a quick lead on them, I don't know, man. I'm going to say, I think Miami puts up, I'm going to say they score 4 touchdowns, so 28. I'm going to say they kick 2 field goals. That's putting you at what? 28, 31, 34. I'm going to say 34-31. I'm going to say the difference is a field goal. It might even be a last second field goal kicked. I I think it's going to be a really close game. I think Miami's going to show up to play. And I think, like I said at the very beginning, when I asked you guys if you think that home field advantage is going to mean anything, I think it does. I think that is the difference. They're at home. They're in front of their crowd. I think it's going to be a pretty even split, even though I think Indiana does travel really well. I think it's going to be a very even split, and I think that's going to make the difference for Miami, and they're going to win it at the end. So if you guys are liking our content, make sure you guys go like, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's a big one. We want to keep doing this content. We love doing this. We hope you guys are enjoying it. We've got a lot more content to come out. We've got NFL playoffs going on. We've got college football. Obviously, we got championship coming up. We're going to review that after the game. We've got NFL draft coming up here in the next couple months. We're going to start talking about that. We got NHL going on. We've got baseball coming up. A lot of big moves there. Like if you're liking the stuff, make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave some comments. Let us know your thoughts and tell us where we're wrong. Voice your opinions. We love getting the comments that we can respond to because it helps us have some talking points with our audience. So thanks for listening. Hope you guys are enjoying it, and make sure you check out all of our other stuff.
Peace.
Peace out.